Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for attending this webinar that we are hosting today to present EOS AI Assistant. It's our solution to enhance support organizations and any entrepreneurial support program. So together with me today, basically we have Valto Loikanen, who is also a senior advisor of the company of Digital. I'm the CEO, and basically we are looking forward to initiating this webinar with all of you today, and most importantly to get your first reactions about this product that we are officially launching globally today. So, because the topic of the webinar is about the AI assistant to enhance entrepreneurial organizations. So before going deeper into the topic, one of the first things that we want to do basically is to showcase how this AI assistant look like in reality. So I'm gonna share my screen basically with an example of this AI assistant that we have implemented for demo today. Let me go to the right page now. So yeah, so this is basically, this is me. This is my digital twin. I have different hats basically supporting innovation and entrepreneurship. Many of you know that I'm also an expert on ecosystem development, but also at the same time, I'm giving my time to also be a mentor with different support organizations. And basically one of the topics that I am trying to share with the entrepreneurs and startups is about team building and shareholder agreement. So basically for the purpose of this webinar, we have basically set up this AI assistant of me. Is the digital twin of me, providing responses to questions related to team building and shareholder agreement. As you can see, the interface is quite simple, quite intuitive. So basically, you have a picture of me communicating clearly that you are interacting with an AI, who I am, what basically kind of topics I'm expert with. And then basically you have here like a chat box where you can start dropping any question that you may have regarding this specific topic. So I'm going to share this link with all of you here in the chat, so you can immediately start interacting and see the kind of responses that you get. Maybe by the end of the webinar, you can also give us real-time feedback, or later on over email or one-to-one meetings, as you like. And then coming back to the presentation. Well, before that, I'm going to share the link here with all of you so you can interact. And then let's go back to the presentation with the materials that we have prepared for today. So as I said, together with me is Valto Loikanen, and we will go through the materials, both of us. But the first thing that we want to basically to bring here is why we are doing this AI assistant for innovation and entrepreneurship context. So anyone who has been in this position of mentoring entrepreneurs, or anyone who has been in the position of managing and running entrepreneurial programs, they know the limitations around basically this kind of entrepreneurship service. So, as you know, there are different actors in this support service for entrepreneurs. You can have mentors, you can have advisor, experts, all of them human people giving their best basically to support entrepreneurs and startups. But at the same time, some of them may have some limitations. Some of them are like it's a kind of full-time job for them, providing this kind of mentoring, and some others are external collaborators giving some of their part-time to basically to support entrepreneurs and startups. And because of that, there are always basically for each of those experts. So they are experts in different topics. They can be experts of legal topics. They can be experts on team building, on MVP development, on product development, customer development, finance, etc. Each of them has their own expertise. So if you think about how the model works in practice, basically each of those mentors, each of those experts that are supporting entrepreneurs and startups, basically they have their own human limitations. So basically they cannot provide 24/7 full support to entrepreneurs. They have to combine that with other existing activities, and that has an impact. So it has an impact on the entrepreneur, that has to basically they need immediate responses to the questions that matter for them in order to make the business grow, but also has an impact on the quality also of the entrepreneurial program. So basically here we are presenting some of the limitations related to the mentorship program. So again, basically the people involved in those roles have limited availability. They also have own scalability issues because basically it's quite hard to try to support many entrepreneurs at the same time, at the time where the entrepreneurs need. At the same time, startups and entrepreneurs may come with all kind of different needs, and at the same time, from the perspective of an entrepreneurial support program, it's really hard to basically to get all that expertise that the startups need. Again, the startups and entrepreneurs need immediate feedback. In some ecosystems, for example, here in Helsinki, the waiting list to get access to mentor can be maybe up to 2 weeks, or at least that was in the past. And of course, in an international landscape where in a specific city you can find all type of people coming from different nationalities, so there is also a barrier with language. So these are the common challenges that mentors and entrepreneurial support programs face when they are trying to support at its best entrepreneurs and startups. And basically, this is the kind of problem that we are trying to solve with EOS AI Assistant, to be able to multiply the availability of the mentors, to be able to multiply the support for entrepreneurs and startups, and basically to provide unlimited, comprehensive and scalable mentorship and support to startups. So here's we wanted to bring a definition of what this EOS AI Assistant means in practice. So again, they are specialized AI tools specifically for the context of innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem. And the main capabilities now is all around basically being able to have this kind of interact dialogues, replying basic questions that are always repetitive in the context of innovation and entrepreneurship, regardless of where the entrepreneur or startup may come from, regardless of the industry where the entrepreneurs and startups come from. There is always this kind of repetitive questions all the time. And as I said earlier, so there are clear benefits of basically bringing this kind of solutions for the context of innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem. For the support organizations, it's all around improving the operational efficiency and scalability. They are able to basically support more with the same resources. Of course, to be able to expand their reach and accessibility, at the same time providing better service for the entrepreneurs, trying to reduce also the waiting time for entrepreneurs to get replies to the most immediate questions. And overall, it's also for the organizations to be able to catch up also with the disruptions coming from AI and build more trust also with the community that they are supporting. And then for the entrepreneurs and startups, again, it's more around getting the responses that they need at the time that they need, and how that can impact on basically improving the decision-making process for them when they have to make decisions to basically in any direction or in any area related to the startup journey. So these are the main benefits that we want to bring. And from now, I will pass to you, Balto, so you can continue basically bringing more examples about what we are building and also to go through the different features that we have.
All right, thank you, Oscar. And also welcome everyone, also from my side. And good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on your time zones. So let me continue on the examples, and then we'll go take a little bit more deep dive. And meanwhile, feel free to chat with Oscar AI has been shared with you, the link, so then you can get experience from that perspective. So continuing from the presentation, so here's just a quick snapshot of a type of like a profile for an AI assistant that you could create. And the idea here is that you can create different types of AI assistants for different types of mentoring or advisory need, and then basically give that type of user experience for those who interact with the AI assistant, for what type of purpose or questions or topics I should address with this specific assistant. And going through the features, basically we focus on the key three key dimensions of how to structure the knowledge for the AI assistant. So what knowledge the interactions is grounded on, capturing interactions or interacting with the AI assistant, and then gaining insights from those interactions. So the knowledge part is important. So as we know from the new AI, the large language models and so forth, their information is based on whatever those AI models have been trained with. So whatever material has gone into training them, and also the training always have a cutoff point. So the cutoff point of that training depends on when the model was trained, and it can have only information up to that cutoff point, and only information that it has been made available by that time. So likely in many parts of the world, when you try to seek information about yourself or your organization or things, you either don't find anything, or you'll find outdated information or whatever that may be. But the key aspect there is that you have no way of organization or individual to change any of that, what comes up in those answers. So therefore a solution is needed where you are in full control and can be in full control of what information and for what facts is delivered by this type of AI assistant. So it will be based on and grounded on the knowledge and facts and information that is provided for your own AI assistant. And that is basically means combining that knowledge and structuring that knowledge to be made available for AI assistant to use to respond based on it. So at the foundation, there's a knowledge base that is used for AI assistants that they will retrieve the facts from, that then they can communicate to the end user depending on which way the end user has asked for that information. So they can cater it many different ways. They can explain analogies. They can talk in the different languages. But the main point is that it's always grounded and communicating those facts that you wanted to communicate based on the knowledge base. In the knowledge base on a technical level, there's intelligent categorization. So regardless of in which way the information is put to the knowledge base, it's also AI assistant organized into relevant categorization, even when the knowledge comes from multiple different sources and types and documents. And this knowledge base can be, of course, updated equally like you would update a drive on Google Drive, or you can update as you would update your blog or whatever other medium where you put knowledge out. But here you don't need to worry about how you organize the information. So you don't need to think structures, heading, outlines, bullet points, readability. You can just put the knowledge, even you can just put transcripts and whatever type of, and you don't need to clean the text or knowledge. This will all be done automatically. So managing the knowledge and capturing the knowledge is very much more efficient than in any other medium to distribute and make that information and knowledge available. So it's not only how it's catered, but it's also how it is easier to make caterable or distributable. The second piece is the actual interactions. So the interactions happen through in a typical dialogue, which mainly is about questions and answers to those questions. But more so, it's more like a conversational thread. So also the thread of interactions is basically captured. And the key piece here is that now, for example, with ChatGPTs and the likes, there's a lot of controls and things in place how you can have that information, have visibility to those interactions. Here, everything is transparent, so you will see the interactions the same way as you would have made those yourself. So basically, the whole questions and dialogues are visible. And therefore, those can be also used as an extension for when you are having the mentoring session with the same person who first interacted, for example, with your AI twin. By capturing more of these interactions by more different interactors or end users, it is possible to obviously gain extremely valuable insights for what are the most common questions, what type of knowledge should be made more available, what are the repeating patterns that can be used in many different ways. So this is the key ability to then obviously drive how to improve the knowledge base for itself, but also improve the entire support service or mentoring experience for that matter. And then further insights can be collected from this. And obviously, again, here, the modern AI tools give way better insights capabilities than just the metrics type that you can get from Google Analytics or similar tools. By these new models, it's possible to recognize, for example, patterns from a larger unstructured data. So even the conversation topics themselves, it's possible to also capture insights from, for example, poor answers, not only whether it was answered or not, or how good the answer was, and also other types of insights like tone. So is it like an intensive conversation, or is it a positive conversation, or negative conversations? These types of things can be captured like never before. And these directly then feedback to improving the knowledge again and the service, and this type of insights and information simply is not available in any other current tools to improve the service and make more of the right knowledge available and improve the knowledge where the feedback or the experience seems lacking from those who interact with the knowledge. Further, for strategic planning and resource allocation, for seeing what type of knowledge we should bring, considering what is being asked, improving the mentorship and expert support. So not only making more of it, but in more different languages and more available, and so forth. And these can then further help, for example, more additional things can be built and developed based on these, for example, community building and network opportunities based on the similar conversations and whatnot. So not only is this ability to improve the service, augment the service, scale the service, make it more available, and then capture insights, but this is also one of the new ways of capturing data that has never been possible to capture, and also that has been very difficult to capture. So in such way that it can also be used for the service development, but also more broadly for wider ecosystem services development and so forth. So here's an example of a report that can be built based on this information. So unanswered questions, poor quality answers, out of place queries, and then download the full insights as a report, as a CSV that you can take to a spreadsheet and further do all kinds of different manual assessments with those. So all the data itself comes captured and provided as such. So statistical perspective, but then also more detailed information about top topics discussed, best answers given, questions that were not answered but should be, what didn't have as good answer as could be. Out of place queries are things like someone asked totally irrelevant things like what times is coffee or whatever that is not relevant. And as well also the time aspect of how much time has been spent by interactions, and therefore like how much service, how much entrepreneurs have been served by these types of tools. So the working model here, we want to highlight that we don't think, from our perspective of more than a decade of developing these tools for the ecosystems and doing this work ourselves. I've been myself doing mentoring for more than 10 years with close to 1,000 entrepreneurs. I know what that work is on everyday level for sure. The key is not to look to replace humans with these solutions, because we don't think there is such thing as too many entrepreneurs, too much innovations, and therefore there can always be more and should be more entrepreneurs and innovations. What is most important is that when there should be more, there should be better and more knowledge available for them, so that less failures will happen and more information is made available to them in more channels than ever before. And therefore, it's really serving more and faster together. So by being able to augment and expand the capabilities of current existing mentors and advisors that are already there is the right way to bring more innovation and entrepreneurship to the field, and really also help those that, like myself, no longer have time to do mentoring, but with augmenting that work to AI, I can still bring myself also to support more. It's also important to understand that now the starting point in the current world is like it's 100% human to human support interactions, and then rest, whatever else there is through webinars, video lessons, or just knowledge white papers and whatnot. And the point here is that, again, it's not to replace, but bring more efficiency and capabilities to existing advisors and mentors to be able to do more and get that part where now oftentimes the mentor feels being like a parrot repeating same things over and over again to new different entrepreneurs, because for them, entrepreneurs, the questions are new, but the answers from the advisors and mentors are not new. And then with that, the advisors can further spend the time in those topics that are specific and unique to the entrepreneurs in question. And then as we go further and improve the knowledge base and improve the availability of more AI assistants into interface, and we also improve the capabilities of those AI assistants in local context with more local information, then the AI assistants will be able to do even bigger part of this advisors and mentors work, and therefore again the existing mentors and advisors can cater for bigger volume of customers, or in more specific and personalized and detailed manner, or both. So basically, the interactions, as from the perspective of entrepreneur, they can, for example, start the conversation with the AI assistant and then meet in person. And now the in-person meeting, the mentor advisor can also ask and get a summary of all the interactions happened by the AI twin or AI assistant and the entrepreneur as a starting point for the meeting going forward. Or it may also be that the questions were at so early phase and so generic level that no meeting is actually needed, and then the meeting can be saved for someone else who is already in their, let's say, further maturity and have other questions in mind. And when we are able to combine then the knowledge and information of both sides for insights on how to improve the knowledge base by AI assistant or multiple AI assistants in the support organization context, all of this will continue iteratively come more and more capable, while there's basically being able to do more while there is no increase in cost, for example. So a single AI assistant can be deployed in days, and it can be having unlimited amount of sessions with unlimited amount of entrepreneurs in parallel 24/7 in multiple languages. And at the same time, it can be capturing new data and new insights for how to improve the services. So when we talk about that AI is impacting everything and everywhere, yes, it is true, but only when those people who are in position of taking action and making that available do so. And here we have made this in a very scalable manner now, after initial prototypes and trials that we have done in the past 6 months. And now we are making it available for everyone. So looking through a lens of use case, one way is doing this like I have done my own Valto AI, and it has my own knowledge base, and I can then see what the interactions are like. I have that actually also in my LinkedIn profile as a link, and then I can see every day in the daily report what people communicate with that, and if there's a need for communicating in person. Of course, this is something that I'm not currently using as a mentoring context myself, but this is what Oscar is doing with it, with his or starting to do now. Another way of looking this is that it doesn't need to be put as attached to a person, like your personal AI twin. It can be simply built into a generic digital service or a digital persona, fully artificial digital persona. And it also can be, the knowledge base can be using open source knowledge like our Growth Academy content that we have licensed out, that this knowledge is available. And again, that knowledge also doesn't need to be used in full. Only parts can be taken from it, and it can be enhanced with local information and whatnot. But the key aspect here is that this what the AI assistant is having information is properly considered from where it is needed, where is it made available to whom, and this is why these types of AI assistants, multiple AI assistants, are needed in the service interfaces where these are now happening in this manual way. So basically putting these AI assistants to the support organization's website, for example, where there's a list of mentors, just instead of having the LinkedIn profile alone, having an AI assistant person available from each of those team members of the support organizations, as an example. So, I want to also bring a little bit more here, a comparison between, because technically these two are the same, but it varies in the kind of ownership, control, and knowledge content perspective. So we can create a fully artificial AI persona that has no real life companion, if you will, and that is designed to be used and owned by organizations and entities and companies. And then the whole persona, the brand, everything can be designed from that perspective. It's flexible, it can be scaled. Obviously, it never dies. So it can remain 45 years old forever if that's the case. And it can have a diverse representation, brand fit, sustained relevance, updating with most relevant knowledge and so forth. And it's basically can be managed by a team of those who administer this type of AI assistant. It's a legal ownership perspectives, and these are simple because then it's owned by the entity, it's created by entity, it's managed by the entity. And then, of course, these don't have to be put out for free. They can be monetized, but that's a decision made by support organizations. Then, and it can vary also. This AI assistant is free. This expert AI assistant for this topic is only for members of our co-working space or whatever that may be. The real person AI is then something that it has a real life person behind it. And the benefits here is that it's super simple because that individual can decide, well, I create one for myself. They own and control every aspect of it, representation, the knowledge, the interactions, the insights gained, the knowledge it's used. The AI can leverage the existing brand of the individual. So whatever the persona's reputation, credibility is, the AI gets that as attached to itself. So it doesn't need to be separately commercialized and productized and marketed. What is it and what can it do? So this way, a real person-based AI twin is a great way of establishing this in a very quickly format. For the individual, it augments their capabilities. I can talk in my AI format. I can talk all kinds of languages, more than 100 languages that I otherwise wouldn't know. But in this scenario, I can bring support to Swahili or French or whatever that may be, that otherwise I would not be able to do so. It's simple to adapt and manage because the decision can be made simply by one individual. I don't need to ask a permission. I don't need to ask a budget. I don't need to decide, how does this impact and so forth. I can simply do it and put it into use. Legal simplicity, meaning that it's mine, and I'm responsible for it. What does it do? What does it say? It's my knowledge. I'm responsible of the content that I put behind it. I can also personally monetize it if I like. So, for example, well, I could put it the link only available behind, you know, a paid newsletter or whatever that could be, for that matter. So again, this most important aspect of beyond the obvious ones, which are the scalability and the making more information more easily available, is then the insights and the iteration loop between gaining more insights, updating the knowledge, gaining more insights, updating the knowledge, and that way improving the capabilities of the AI assistant, the capabilities and the quality of information shared. So how to get started? So we have priced this super affordably. So previously we have been doing these like custom setup projects in a round of 10K to set up that type of artificial AI persona. And now we have got the technology on our side to a level where we can offer a subscription as a service for basic capabilities of the AI assistants, starting at 35 euros per month. So when you compare that type of 35 euros a month to an average business advisor monthly salary that here in Finland in a support organization is about 4,500 per month, and then when calculating also the side costs of individual mentor, then augmenting 20%, 30%, 40% of more capabilities. Anyone can do the math that this is a no-brainer to start utilizing these AI assistants. And that's also at the same time, that is the point where the organizational learning starts about utilizing AI technologies in practice in an outside version dialogue, not only looking for internal invisible productivity gains, but actually seeing ability to do more, not only internally, but do more externally for your customers and for your audiences. And here is a quick, simple comparison between like the most known technology out there. So the ChatGPT obviously is a tool for individuals to get answers for all kinds of different things, controlled purely by OpenAI, and whatever knowledge it has, and whatever it responds, and it's not controlled by anyone except themselves. Also, no one else gets to see what types of dialogues are happening between users of those. And then there's a possibility of creating your own GPTs there. They are quite limited in their capabilities. And the most important limitations is that the end users need to have ChatGPT subscription to use them. That can be expected to go away at some point, but this is the case at this point. So whether you want to put your own AI assistants out for free, or you want to put those as a paid service, that's up to you, not to OpenAI. And then if you put it out as a GPT, there is a subscription required from the end users, and they will also take all the money, and you get to see nothing about how it's used. The insights, there is no insights on our side. There's full transparency of the interactions between those who create the AI assistants and those who use them. Customization, we can offer all the way to the level that you can fully customize the interfaces with your own developer teams if you have those. But in basic level, we offer interfaces that you can customize to fit to your branding, starting from putting your picture there or putting an artificial persona picture there. These have been designed and developed specifically now from the perspective of our more than 10 years as our company, and even more than 20 years of entrepreneurial experience and entrepreneurship and innovation and mentoring field experience for the specific use case field. So we are specifically designed this from this perspective, these EOS AI assistants. And this ecosystem awareness aspect is that we can also further these assistants that come from our side. We can also, we have already architecturally designed them so that they will be easy to plug in to ecosystem collaboration level between AI assistants, as well as aggregating data from the ecosystem interactions for the ecosystem overall navigation and development purposes. But those decisions are made by the support organizations themselves. Automatically, none of that information flows anywhere else except those who create them, manage them, and between how they want to put them out with the customers. But technically, this interoperability with these AI assistants include in such way, for example, that if opting in and enabling one AI assistant, for example, can refer to other AI assistants available in the ecosystem and any other future aspects that you want to develop. But none of these are possible without first starting the journey, if you will. But that's unique from our side when it comes to being connected to ecosystem OS solutions at the ecosystem level. So rich automated insights and ecosystem awareness, those are the key aspects beyond the basics of the differentiators. So after you subscribe, what happens then? Like, let's go step by step, so you get an idea of after you go and subscribe, what will happen after that. So first, we'll help you we will go step by step together with you to make sure that you get the first AI assistant experience in the easiest and most understandable way. So basically, we start from what knowledge it should have, and basically work with you or help you to kind of define that, and then you can provide us with the materials for what will be used for the knowledge base. After that, let's say within a week of subscribing, you will have your first AI assistant set up, where you can start immediately using that first internally, and then with your small or bigger audience, if you will, and basically start getting insights from that. And then we'll get you through and looking at the first interactions and insights, and how to basically update the knowledge yourself, so that you get an easy start, and then get to see what these interactions look like, and then how to add more knowledge and maintain the knowledge base of the AI assistant. And then from there forward, for further needs and beyond the basics that we have, we can then build tailored packages and additional trainings and whatnot as needed. But that's basically then if needed, or you feel that you want to have some organizational training on, or so forth. So that's it from my side as well. I hope you have had good, knowledgeable session here, and yeah, we're happy to answer any questions you may have at this point.
Yes, thank you, Alto. So yeah, so we now have time for some Q&A. Okay, René. All right. I think you can talk, Rene. You are muted now. You are muted.
Okay. I had to unmute it like 4 times. Anyway, that's great. Thank you so much for the presentation. You've come a long way from the times that we started to take a look at it. It looks really, really impressive, and just congratulations on. I know it's been a lot of hard work to get it to this point. I'm interested in I'd like to be able to pilot it with the network, with the Rinsa network that we have. When you're doing the subscriptions and you're saying each one is like 5 chatbots, and then they can interact with other AI assistants. If we had a network where we had 3 or 4 organizations within Rinsa that are also having the subscriptions of 5, would they be able to talk to each other in each of those regions as they're building their own chatbots? I wasn't quite clear on that.
Yes, so thanks Rene for the feedback first of all, and thanks for the question as well. So yes, so basically the subscriptions that we have here are meant specifically for either like for individual mentors or advisors, so that to keep it super simple, that if they choose, they can just go and get started. And then also for the support organization level, like, okay, we don't want it to be based on like Rene or anyone specifically. We want it to be like this artificial persona that we create, but then we manage it together and then go from there. So then also there's the subscription level that you can have like multiple. So okay, let's create one for product and one for team building, one for this. And the reason for doing those separate ones is not only from the perspective that it makes it more understandable for the user. So the user experience is built in, that people have hard time to cope with the godlike persona, that would I ask, and I don't even know what to ask. But when it's a like a specific topic and persona is like comes naturally to what to expect to ask or be able to ask and answer. And also that way the knowledge becomes more manageable. So you don't need to worry that, oh, what if they ask about team building? If it's a product AI assistant, then you don't need to think like a big knowledge constantly, like it should be able to answer everything, but it's all bundled into these separate things. And one more perspective also, like even with the humans as we do, it's also recommendable to get more than one perspective. Like, don't believe any one individual. So that the AI should be able to do the same also, that, hey, this is like based on my knowledge, but you may want to chat with this other mentor also because they may have another knowledge. So then the key is also to not take that away from, because entrepreneurs should never trust any individual blindly as well. So also continuing the same analogy here. And then when we go to that ecosystem level, so then that will require the separate ecosystem OS subscription, which starts at, I think, something like 300 a month. So then with that repository, we can connect those. But what we have here included with this AI assistant is the built-in interoperability, so that they can be connected to that repository to communicate that. Of course, it is totally possible also to put, for example, information about the other AI assistants directly to the knowledge base, but that's manually maintained work.
Yeah.
So then you have to manually maintain that. But with the ecosystem OS repository, it's possible to automate that. So for example, that every time new AI assistant is introduced in the ecosystem, all the AI assistants are aware of that AI assistant automatically. So that's the part. So it has this interoperability capability built in, but it does require the separate repository subscription.
Okay, good. Thank you for answering that. I think I'd like to take it offline and talk to you some more about our specific needs and how we might be able to work with you to at least start to evaluate how we can start with it. Okay.
All right. Yes, definitely.
Right. Thank you.
Happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Rene. It was a pleasure meeting you, and definitely many good things are happening in Lethbridge and in the whole Alberta province, taking also the lead in many aspects related to digital. So it was really great to see you again after a long time. Yes, thank you. Any other questions coming from any of you? We are happy to reply more, definitely. No? All right. So I think we don't have more questions coming from the audience. Balto, is there any final comments or things that you want to say before concluding?
Yeah, I think one thing that we can address here also, it's a bit of a showcase, continuing like as an extension for the webinar, is that one of the common question is like, will the materials be available afterwards and so forth. So yes, they will. How we will actually do it, we'll create an AI assistant about AI assistants using the transcript of the webinar. So we will basically take the webinar presentation materials only, and then our transcript from this webinar, and we will showcase you how the AI assistant is then be able to contribute, or how you can ask about the AI assistant. And we'll intentionally leave that as its only content. In addition to just basically, you can ask, where can I get the presentation slides? You can ask from the AI assistant. So we will only add those types of things there. But the purpose of that is that we can show you, and you can experience, having been part of this webinar and hearing the topic, how such knowledge can be made available as in interactive format without us being there anymore. So then that way you can kind of compare that, how for example you can simply capture, for example, your training sessions or like just events that you hold locally, and just record the event content and make it available through AI assistant, and then you can also get that experience of how that can happen.
Yes, I think we also have another additional question from Barton. So Barton, the first is yours.
Hey, great talk. Appreciate it. I'm a developer and entrepreneur. So it seems like your innovation is making training easier. Isn't that the key? Because we can already do some of these things with the tools that are out there. They're just like, got flaws or problems with different aspects of it. And as I understand it, because you can train up a chat GPT with custom data in an hour, but it isn't really training it. It's more like giving it extra prompt information. And then the training process is more involved. So you're making the training easier, isn't that? And then making it sort of easier to get to the interface.
Yes, that part as well. But I think one of the key aspects that is important is the applicability. Like, where do you apply it? Like, there's a lot of technologies that are possible and to do, but if they are not applied in the real world, in a like putting it where that need is, that's really the key aspect here. And when it's put in that, so now when instead of me using a tool that I create for myself, I create a tool to augment my own capability to do more for the customers that I'm serving, and then also seeing the interactions from those customers interacting with that, and then being able to improve the knowledge and what can it do. It's more about how to apply solutions into a real-wide use case, which in here is specifically helping to scale more of the support knowledge and services that exist there. But also, it also includes that technical aspect, that it's not only tweaking prompts, but it's actually making sure that it has the information available that it should have available, and that it only answers questions in a way that it should answer, instead of like these large language models, they basically respond from the memory, but these AI assistant respond based on the knowledge base that is managed for it.
Thanks.
Thank you for the great question.
Yes, thank you, Barton, for that. We also have one question coming from Jim. So Jim, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Really appreciated I'll turn this on too, the presentation today. I work at an entrepreneur support organization. I was a few minutes late joining, but I haven't seen how you actually sign up for the system if you're wanting to sign up.
Yeah, I think, Oscar, it makes sense to put the link there on the chat. But basically, yes, it's in the presentation itself and our website. But yeah, we will share the link here for sure. That's a very important question.
Pricing, on the EOS AI Assistant itself. I saw some information, but I couldn't see. I could see how you could sign up for the EOS, but I couldn't see how you could sign up for this.
Yes. So there's now a link here in the chat, so you can go there, and after subscription we'll get you all set up. So thanks for pointing that out. It's the this is what entrepreneurs do. They forget the most important thing. Thank you.
We need our own AI assistant to remind these kind of important things from time to time. Yes, thank you for that, Jim. It was really great. Any other questions before concluding? We are now approaching the duration that we try to make this happen, but at least we have couple of minutes more for another question. If not, we can conclude here. And basically, yes. So from our side, so thanks again, everyone participating in this webinar. We really appreciate all your questions, all your comments related to this webinar. We will make that AI assistant about the webinar available as soon as we can. And meanwhile, feel free to reach out to us individually also for more one-to-one meetings, just to get more understanding about your own case and how we can basically help you to make it happen. So thanks again. And basically, before concluding, maybe Valto, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone as well. This has been great, and really looking forward to getting these things in action and really helping you take full advantage of that. We know entrepreneurs definitely around the world really need more all the time, and we should just have more entrepreneurs to the world. So hopefully this is our way of trying to give back at the scalable way. So thanks everyone.
All right, so thank you and see you again soon. Bye.